Hi guys, Cameron here, and welcome to another video. We have got Gary, my friend, here because he has just picked up the new 40k commander deck for, I'm holding it the wrong way around, there we go, for the Imperium. So what we are going to do is, we're going to do very similar to what I've done for the last couple of decks, but Gary actually knows Magic the Gathering at least a little bit more than me because he's played 2 games and I've played 1. So we are going to do a little bit more of a talking about the cards and seeing what they actually have. But we'll go to a face down shot sort of thing. Gary has kindly brought his playmat as well, so you will see an unhappy owlbear throughout the whole thing, which is awfully very cute.
Oh yes.
But yes, we will go to the face down shot and then we will see what happens.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
So here we go. We have got the deck box for this one to start off with. We have got a couple of symbols on the sides and we've got Greyfax just at the top, who is the meant to be commander of this deck. And you also get a life counter which does go up to 40 and all the way down to a 1, which also includes Greyfax as well. Do we have the Greyfax card, Gary? Here we go. Nice shiny card, which obviously you're expecting, and you do get the considerably thicker version of this card with slightly different kind of shininess. This, Gary's just told me, creates a token, a clue token, which we have a couple of them. And where are they? Here we go. There is your clue token. Goodness knows what that artwork even is, but kind of it is what it is. But all these tokens, creatures, have various different sides to them. You can see I've got a bunch of them here and we'll go through them. Gary, you've played with this deck against me and you managed to use these Astartes warriors to great effect. I was not particularly impressed. But it kind of just is what it is. You've then got an Arkle Flagellant, so this is really a full Imperium deck because you've got your sisters, you've then got Imperial Guard, you've already had Astartes, and what else do we have? Let me keep these off this wonderful playmat that you've got. We've got some suppressors, which is a 3/2 with flying, of course. Another 1/1 soldier. The thing I like actually about the soldiers is that they are different. There we go, there's one that kind of proves it. They are different areas of the Imperial Guards. We've got Kachans, there's Cadians later on, and it's nice seeing the different, I'll say, styles and artworks or whatever you want to say. A Zephyrim, if that's how you even pronounce it, I have no
clue.
Yep, no idea at all. Flying and Vigilance, which is obviously a nice thing to have. There's your Cadians. They've just had some models showing off actually recently. And there's another Astartes warrior. And I like how they just call these guys robots.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they are. And I know that is all they are, but they're just robots on these cards, which is funny to me. What's that? Oh, that's the Devastator, Space Marine Devastator, and another Imperial Guard soldier. And then this was something that was in this booster pack, and you said this was just to give you a little bit of variety, which I didn't know they did in these decks. I thought you used everything.
I wasn't aware that it was going to be in it. I am thrilled that it is because I love using librarians in games. So having him as a wizard is great fun.
I'll take your word because I don't even know what wizards means. But what we will do is we will go through card by card then, will we, Gary? We've got the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I think I might have more cards than you, so I do apologise. Thunderwolf Cavalry. Nice artwork on it. Space Wolves, as you will probably already know. And it's a 4/4 with it costing... Oh, it doesn't actually cost 4 mana. It costs 5 mana. I was thinking it was a 4/4/4, but that's a bit disappointing.
So again, for me, going back to Inquisitor Greyfax, it's been a really fun card to play to start with. Actually wasn't expecting to enjoy it quite so much, but getting the +1 to attack and getting Vigilance straight away just from bringing the card out is brilliant. and was a lot of fun.
I'll take your word on it. Choked Estuary. I have no idea how to pronounce that. We've got some normal land, which nobody really cares about too much. But then we go into the Ultramarines Honor Guard, just here. Small little creature, squad of 2, yada yada yada. You pay 2, and any number at times. Although it does give other creatures you control a +1/+1. Your deck seems to ramp up your other cards quite often. Certainly, I'll say the one game that we played against each other, that seemed to be how it was.
One game so far.
Yes.
The Green Knight Paragon, when it comes in, gets to destroy a target creature. If it's a demon, you exile it. So again, really playing into the thematic side of things and having the Grey Knights be great against demons. So loving that.
We then got an artifact creature here, which is a cybernetic datasmith. So you're following my footsteps with the artifact creature. But what this does is this protects you from robots. So all those robots that you had before, this protects you from. I suppose it means I presume robots is a key word in Magic the Gathering, so you now aren't affected by them.
We've got deploy the front line. Deploy to the front even. Again, it's handy wee card, helps ramp up, brings out soldiers, and whilst it does show some Armageddon Steel Legion, you can use the other cards with that as well. It's just good fun.
We've then got a sister hospilitar.
Do you want to put your teeth back in for this?
Yeah, it's the thing. I play 40k, but I don't pronounce the names correctly. So, a sister hospilitar. So this one's saying when the sister hospilitar enters the battlefield, you return a target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and you gain life equal to the mana of that value, which is quite nice. You seem to have, again, another few things that give you life rather than my Necron deck, which takes it away.
Very, very much so. And I'm sitting to the side. This is quite weird trying to do it. I'm going to go back to the old way in a second. Memorial to Glory. It's a land, but again, it's another way of trying to get in yet another soldier. And I found, just from the first game there, this deck is very much trying to get as many token creatures out as possible.
Yeah, you did seem to get a few of them out quite often. So this is the Vanguard Suppressor. Models which you still can't buy on their own from Games Workshop. So they've got flying, unsurprisingly, with their jetpack things. But they also have this suppressing fire mechanic, and it's whenever a Vanguard Suppressor deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So it's quite good. Another way for you to get more cards in your hand.
So another way of getting cards out is, again, with Reconnaissance Mission here. You got the cycling option. Again, it's not something I'm too keen on personally, but it's a great way of doing it. But when you deal damage to another player, you can draw a card. And I did run out of cards quite quickly. So, yeah.
This one here, for the Emperor, some sorcery just going on. What it does is creatures you control get +2/+2, and you gain vigilance and lifelink on this until the end of your turn. I can imagine that if you have a lot of things out, you want to put this out, and then having that +2/+2 probably means you're taking out a lot of things. If I let it go through, the fact that you're doing that lifelink, you're getting a lot of health back. You're just ramping up your health.
And from anyone who's ever played me, you know I need as much health as possible. With the Talisman of Progress here, again, it's just another fancy way of adding in extra mana floating, or you can turn it to be specific colour and then take 1 life damage. So, lots of damage.
We've then got Commissar Severina Rain. I remember when this model came out. And this one, actually, whenever Severina Rain attacks, each opponent loses X amount of life, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. So again, this is one of the things that you want to put out, probably along with For the Emperor, and just start, have everything on your side of the board attack.
So I'm going to go through, when I get lands, I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. This is Darkwater Catacombs. It just lets you decide if you want a black or a blue mana. So yeah.
We then got the Redemptor Dreadnought. Not really much to say. Trample, and yeah, whenever the Redemptor Dreadnought attacks, if this card is exiled, with it gets XX or plus XX until the end of the turn, where X is the power of the exiled card.
I've got Dismal Blackwater as my next one. This is actually one of my favourite sort of style of lands. I can imagine it's most people's, because when you play it, you gain 1 life, and it can be quite a good way of stacking.
We've then got the Reaver Titan with some nice artwork here. I am a fan of Warhounds over Reavers, to be fair. But one of the things that I like about this card is the Void Shields, and it's got protection from mana from value of 3 or less, which just means small things can't hurt it, which is exactly how it should be.
Yes, 100% I agree. We've got Exterminatus here as a sorcery, non-land permanents that your opponents control lose indestructible until the end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. So it is
all non-land.
Quite
Jeez,
a powerful card.
That would screw me over. We've then got another Space Marine Devastator here, so we'll just go through that one. And we've got Mindstone here. So you add mana to your pool if you tap it, sure, but you can also sacrifice Mindstone and draw a card. So another way to mill your deck slightly.
Okay. The next one here is Sister Repentia. I'm trying to square that up a little bit. I'm getting this all wrong, but I'm trying. It's a great way of adding life to the deck and just doing lots of fun damage.
Speaking of adding life, Celestine, the Living Celestine, is that how you pronounce it? The Living Saint. She's got flying and, like I say, lifelink, because you're adding more life to you. Of course you are.
Going from a Living Saint to a Custody. We've got Vexilus Praetor. This is fantastic having flash, but vigilance for me, having vigilance is key. It means I can attack and defend, and it's brilliant. So I love it.
We've then got Zephyrum, if that's how you're pronouncing it. I don't know if that is the actual way. But then we've got Inquisitor Eisenhorn. If I understand correctly, this guy can be your commander, although he's not in a shiny-ness, unfortunately. And yeah, he looks like a nice dude. I'd go to the pub with him.
Oh, 100%. I would not, however, go to the pub with this company commander, because I feel he's a bit of an idiot. He's standing above the trench, just ready to be shot. Not my cup of tea.
Well, we've then got the Inquisitorial Rosette, or if that's how you pronounce it. And whenever this is equipped to whenever equipped creature attacks, you create a 2/2 white Astartes warrior creature token with vigilance while attacking. I think you might have used this, or at least you had something that did very similar, because you were just pulling out Astartes tokens out your arse constantly.
Well, where else am I going to keep them? We've got Nea Mishai Marad. Again, if I'm mispronouncing these, then tough. I will do my very best. Legendary creature, human rogue, and I kind of just love the fact that we've got rogues in 40k for this. 3/3. There was a lot of text there, and it's the first time I've seen the card, so my mistake.
I have that model for Blackstone Fortress. She came in the escalation stuff and the combat arena. It's a lovely, lovely model. Primaris Eliminator here, and when the Primaris Eliminator enters the battlefield, you can choose one of these. You can choose an Executioner round, and that destroys a target creature, or you can choose a Hyperfang round, and that creature gets a -2/-2 until the end of the turn. I don't know which one I'd choose. Probably just destroy a target creature. Why wouldn't you pick that?
So this one is Sunken Hollow. When it comes in tapped. But again, it's a nice way of getting extra mana in, and it's got the flexibility of blue or black, which is key for this deck.
We've then got Fell the Mighty, and destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power. It's all right, but I don't know how often I would use that, because I'm terrible at this whole power thing and everything. And then you got the Arcane Signet, which is an artifact, and you add 1 mana of any color to your commander. In your commander color's identity. So you can do what? Black, white, and blue.
Tranquil Cove, it's very much like one of the ones I showed you earlier, where when it comes in, you gain 1 life, which is so useful, especially at the start. It's just good to get in someone's head.
We've then got the Primaris Chaplain, which has his battle cry and his Rosarius, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It kind of looks like it's an alright card.
So we have Commander's Sphere, which is great because if you do decide that you need a new card, pay 3, get it out, sacrifice it, and you can draw a new card, or you can add 1 mana of any of the colours of my commander, which is brilliant.
I like how you understand Magic considerably better than me, because I've just looked at the time here, and this is now roughly how long the 2 other videos have gone on for, and we've still got a fair bit of cards to go through. But it's because you actually understand them. It's great. So we've got the Ash Barons, which is just land here, which I won't necessarily go through, but I did see that this one, the Skull Clamp, which I think is just a servo skull. And I just like this artwork. I don't care about what the card says, it's just cool artwork, and that's the thing. It looks really, really good.
So I'm going to quickly cover the 3 basic lands just purely for the artwork, because they are absolutely stunning. Oh, I have knocked that. I'm so sorry.
Go.
There we go.
Sorry, I'll see if I can stabilise the camera. At least it's not me knocking it this time, for once.
Yes. Whilst they are the basic lands for the 3 of them, I know for each deck they've got their own different artwork on them to make them fit, and it's just great to see that theme just playing out throughout, and it really does just draw you into the game. So
what you
so
can
happy for that.
What you can do is you can see the black artwork the Necrons have on that review, and what is it? The Chaos have red, white, red, blue, and I can't remember the other colour. It might be red, black, yeah, and blue. I remember the red and blue, but it's definitely different artwork to that. But anyway, Marneus Calgar here, your second shiny. They're what they call. They're actually called foils in Magic, aren't they? They're not shiny. Shinies is Pokemon from back in the day. He's got double strike and various other things. 3/5. He can create 2/2 white Astarte warrior creature tokens with vigilance. So that's just when you pay 6, which seems like a high price, but yeah, it's probably a good thing because you're just getting more and more bodies out.
So next up we have Martial Coup, which I did misread as marital group, so that's quite a bit different. Create X/1/1 white soldier creatures tokens. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. So it is 2 white and X to play it. That can be quite a powerful way of covering everything. If you've had a board wipe, you've got nothing else, and you've just got a load of mana sitting and waiting, this can be a great way to turn the game pretty quickly. I
like the idea of the marital group. It's like an AA meeting, but for people who are going through a hard time. Talisman of Hierarchy. So just an artifact, a way that you can get some land. So we'll just skip over it and get another land here, which is the Sky Cloud Expanse. So you can get blue or white. Oh, wait. You pay 1 and you add... Is that blue and white you add?
Yes.
So you pay 1 and you get 2. Yep. That's nasty. Sure, fine. I don't get things like that. I don't. Maybe I do. I just haven't noticed. See, this is why I have you here. You're better than me.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but thank you. Next up, we have the Thunderhawk Gunship. 6 mana to play. It is a vehicle, so it will need to be crew, which will cost 2 to do. But it's so worth it. It is flying. And on a personal note, it is my second favourite flyer in the entire game system for 40k. The Arvis Lander is my personal favourite because it's just so tiny and funny.
I wonder if that's got a card. I doubt it because I don't think it can do any damage in game. But going on another vehicle here, we've got the Knight Paladin. So this has got trample and you need to crew it with 1 person, which isn't too bad. But the rapid fire battle cannon I think is quite good because when this Knight Paladin enters the battlefield, you deal 4 damage to each opponent. So with this being a commander deck, you can play with multiple people. We only have played against each other, but our plan is to play with David next weekend. and this means that when you bring this on, you'll be doing 4 damage to both David and myself.
Oh yes.
Which is seems real good.
That was the key card to that last game.
Yeah.
Because it was the only thing that kept me alive for as long as it did. Next up we have the Sanguinary Priest. So Blood Angels getting a bit of a showing here. Again, going for that lifelink, trying to heal you up, which is always fantastic. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Blood Angels. I know, maybe controversial, but yeah, it's a fun card anyway.
It's all right. I play Sons of Medusa. Something that's on the wrong end of the Badab War. We've then got the Belisarius Call legendary artifact creature. He is a human, which he shouldn't be because he should be a robot, surely, because he's the lord of the robots. But fine. Various abilities, and he's a 2/4.
So I'm going to fly through 2 pretty quickly here. We've got Command Tower, which will add 1 mana of any colour of your commander. So if, in this case, I've got blue, black and white, I can add 1 of any of them. Or if I'm going to play it in another deck, again, I can play it to my commander's strengths. And the other card that I would like to show is Hour of Reckoning, which sounds fantastic. It is 3 white and 4 extra on top. However, destroy all non-token creatures.
Oh.
So this can be really, really powerful. In the game that we played earlier, I had a lot of token creatures up with the Astartes and with the Imperial Guard and soldiers. So it could be quite a good way to save myself later.
You've then got this one, which is Swords of Plowshares.
Swords 2.
Swords 2 Plowshare. Yeah, not of. Well, I can't pronounce Hoplites or whatever it was, Hospilita. So you got exile target creatures, or exile target creature. Its controlling player its controller gains life equal to its power. So you could play this on yourself, and you exile a creature, and you gain power. So you gain life equal to its power. Or for some reason, you could play this against me, and exile mine, and I gain life for whatever reason. But yeah,
I did do that earlier, but it was purely just to try and get something off the board because your commander was doing a bit too much damage to me.
Oh, is that what you used? Right.
Yep. We've got Port Town. It's another land. It has more fancy text, but again, the basis of it, add 1 white or blue, which is pretty good.
We then got Sister of Silence, just here, and when Sister of Silence enters the battlefield, counter target instant spells, sorcery spells, activated abilities, or triggered abilities. So, it seems like you just kind of counter all the spells that can potentially go off. I suppose that's how it works, because they're anti-psychers, aren't they?
Yeah, oh, very much so. Next up we have a Sicarian Infiltrator. It does have flash, you can get it out there quite quickly. Squad, it does have the extra cost to do that. For a 1/2 with extra bonus costs, maybe I'm missing something on this. I'm sure it's going to be useful, but I think there are other cards I'd favour over it, if I could.
That's fair. There will always be uses for these cards, but I just don't know them. But we've got Evolving Winds, which is some land. So you sacrifice Evolving Winds, search your library, not scratch your library. Scratch your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And then going on to the Defenders of Humanity. Bunch of stuff that goes off. Essentially, you create X 2/2 Astartes warriors with vigilance, and it's like when you pay as much mana as you would like. I'm not a fan of it.
Terramorphic Expanse, sacrifice the card, and then you get to search your library to find another basic land. Fairly useful, but meh.
We've then got the Talisman of Dominance, so you can add various forms of mana to your library, to your pool, but it also deals damage to you for whatever reason. When you add blue or black, it can only allow white. No idea, but welcome to the world of not understanding magic.
Then we have Prairie Stream. Again, it's another land. It's not a basic one, but adds a bit more variance with the white or blue. Again, I just want to say this. We both are still very much learning the game. So if we are missing things on these cards, we are still learning.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
So the Triumph of St. Catherine is a 5/5. It's got lifelink, and when Triumphant of St. Catherine dies, exile it, and the top 6 cards of your library in a face-down pile. If you do, shuffle that pile and put it back on top of your library. So I think you get this back because you, I don't understand that card completely, but it is what it is. Oh, that's a fancy card. It's got various things.
From what I understand, every deck has a saga.
I'll take your word on it. Mine probably does. I just haven't paid attention to it.
This is the birth of the Imperium. So you get 3 turns with that out on the board. At the end of, or at the start of each turn, you can then add an extra token to it. Once it's all used up, you then sacrifice the card. However, on the first turn when it's out, create a 2/2 White Astartes warrior, which is fantastic. And then second turn you get your opponents will sacrifice a creature, and third one, draw 2 cards for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. And this is very much playing into the idea of getting out as many token creatures as you can to build up your board. So I love it.
We've then got the Scoured Barons, and when Scoured Barons enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life, and then you can tap it and add white or black mana to the pool.
Okay, so we have Calidus Assassin.
Oh, that's pretty cool art.
Again, loving the artwork on this, and it is very, very thematic to actual 40k, because you've got polymorphine. Again, I still need to work out the ins and outs of that, but I am loving the fact that when you bring it out, it can do so much damage. It is 3/3, does cost 6 total mana combined, but it should be a lot of fun to play with.
I like the fact that you can copy it. I like copy other target creatures. We've then got Path of Ancestry, and various things. You add 1 mana of any color to your commander's color's identity. When this mana is spent, to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1 card.
Okay.
I think that's the first time we've had scry, or at least first time we've noticed that we've got scry.
Got Utter End, so it's an instant exile target non-land permanent. I can see this being quite a big thing to try and save me because I am pretty useless in a tight corner, so I will be.
I love just the hole through his chest.
Oh yeah.
Probably one of the most well-known phrases, and they shall know no fear. Choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get a +1/+0 and gain indestructible until the end of turn, which is not a bad thing.
So with that card, it doesn't say it has to be an Astartes warrior.
It's just any creature type.
Yep, so you pick the creature type you want. So it can actually be used in other decks.
Yep.
But I'm absolutely loving the versatility of it. Next up, I have Bastion Protector, which is a 2/1 white. Commander creatures you control get +2/+2 and have indestructible. Again, it's just another way of really beefing up your characters and making sure you knock them out.
You've then got the Arcoflagellant, and one of the things that I like about this is the Arcoflagellant can't block. So it's just running around with its arms flailing all over the place. Just I imagine doing the Zoidberg. But you can also pay 3 life, and the Arcoflagellant gains indestructible until the end of that turn.
And next up we have Mortify. I'm loving the artwork on this because it really does just show the power of the Grey Knights against demons. Destroy target creature or enchantment. That's for 3 mana total, 1 white, 1 black. Pretty good.
You've then got the Arcane Sanctum. So it comes in tapped, but it's just land, and you can add white, blue, or black land to your pool after it.
Next up we have the Space Marine Scout, which is 2 and 1 white. It does have First Strike and Vigilance. Sorry, I misread that there. And it's got it's got 2/1 for power and health. It's got some uses. Again, I play very much for a theme. I'm not a fan of scouts themselves, but again, for the deck, having the first strike is very useful along with visions.
We've then got Deny the Witch, which I remember is a rule in the game. I just can't remember how to do it. In actual 40k, I mean. So you can counter target spells, activated abilities, or triggered abilities. Its controller loses life equal to the number of creatures you control. So that means you lose life equal to the number of creatures you control, but I suppose you stop some things. So if it's a board wipe, you would stop it, but you do lose life. So useful in situations.
Yeah, oh, very much so. I'm going to go through 2 pretty quickly. Exotic Orchard. So land, add 1 mana of your
That's pretty.
commanders, control like their colours. So it's fairly useful.
I can imagine if that's foiled, that would be nice and pretty because it would shine in certain areas.
I do like it. I've got an old, because this is obviously one of the older cards. It's been reprinted, reskinned. I'm kind of preferring this new artwork on it. And launch fleet, I'm too excited to tell you about this one because it was so much fun earlier. I had a great opportunity to do something like 20 damage to Cam.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he pretty much board wiped me
by
that point. So I managed to do 1 whole damage with it instead. But it has some great opportunities in it, I think.
We've then got Everflowing Chalice. So a multi-kicker, Everflowing Chalice, and then you can add mana for each charge counter on the Everflowing Chalice. So again, another way for you to get those charge counters from those tokens.
So we've got a very thematic card here. We've got The Flesh is Weak. Creatures you control gain +1/+1. They also gain the word artifact, and the best part is the last line there. Non-artifact creatures get -1/-1. So it means if you're playing against someone who's not got a Necron deck, they're going to get absolutely slaughtered. So I imagine against Tyranids it'd be ideal, but again, it's just a lovely thematic card playing into it.
What I like about this one, so it's collective effort. You can escalate it, and you can tap an untapped creature you control. You pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Okay, so you can choose 1 or more. I love the fact that you can do or more. It just means you can continue to do, well, there's only 3, but yeah. You can destroy target creatures with power 4 or greater. You can destroy target enchantments, and you can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. But yeah, it seems awfully good.
So next we have an Assault Intercessor. With this, it's first strike menace. You've got Chainsword. Whenever a creature, whenever a creature you control an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. Again, just really does play into the theme of the deck, which I'm absolutely loving.
We've then got Entrampment Maneuver, which just seems like this Catachan wants to give this Tyranid a cuddle. I've never seen this artwork before. I'll hold it slightly closer. Never seen this artwork before, so I presume it is new artwork. I know some of this stuff is. But target player sacrifices an attacking creature. You create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, where X is the creature's toughness. So that doesn't seem too bad. It sounds all right. I do love the kind of quote just in the bottom. It just says "now." There's no other explanation. I suppose there's no other explanation needed.
You've all got to pile in for a cuddle. That's why. My last card to show today, and I'm loving it. It's the Golden Throne. So it's a legendary artifact, 4 mana to play. And with this, I'm going to read it word for word because I love it. Arcane Life Support. If you would lose the game, instead exile the Golden Throne, and your life total becomes 1.
Amazing.
So that's the first half of the text. Second half, 1,000 souls die every day. Well, we're not going to go too far down that. Tap the card, sacrifice a creature, add 3 mana in any combination of colours. So again, it can play into absolutely any style of deck.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact, nope, you want to kill me, I'm not going to lose, I'll just have 1 life instead.
I like the idea of just being like, nah, 1 life. Last card of the deck, and the most important one, from what I understand, is your Soul Ring. Every commander deck has this, from what I've heard, but all you do is you tap it and you get 2 mana, and it only costs 1 to do, so awfully nice. It doubles.
It is great at ramping up, as almost anyone will tell you. It's a great way to ramp your deck, especially on the first turn, and I think it really does play well, as it does with pretty much every deck, just on helping get the mana in to get more tokens out, which is the ideal of the entire game.
Yeah, but
for this deck.
That is all of the cards for this deck. We will go back to a face shot and we will kind of talk this out.
Hell yeah.
So there we go, guys. That is our first look at the new 40k commander deck for the Imperium. Thank you very much for coming along. Hopefully that kind of first look, and I'll put in quotation marks, review, was better than my Necron one and my Chaos one, because we actually talked about the cards, because actually I now know a little bit more about Magic, purely because I've played 2 games. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say thank you to you, Gary, for 1, allowing this, and 2, coming along and showing your beautiful face and voice on screen.
Why, thank you.
But I am going to ask for you to do my shilling this week, or this day. What should they do, Gary, if they would like to support me?
Okay, so again, first of all, I'd love to say thank you for having me today. It's been great bringing the cards along, just getting to know the deck a bit better. But if you are looking to support Cam going forward, then please do like, share, subscribe. I know it's all the basic stuff, but it is what you need to do. And actually, as of today, which is fantastic, he's got a brand new affiliate link. So please do go to Madhouse.
Magic Madhouse.
Magic Madhouse, make sure we get that right. But it's actually where I'm going to be checking next, because I need to get some sleeves for this. And you can get anything you need for Magic, and you can also get the 40k stuff, which I'm going to be doing as well. So hell yes.
The links are in the description below to all my stuff. So all my kind of affiliate links, as well as my social medias. Thank you very much for saying that, Gary, and thank you very much for coming along. And until next time, take care and bye-bye.
Woohoo!
Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and use my affiliate links in the description below. Take care and bye-bye.